the project development objective of the NGKS program. It is a $750 million loan that is being implemented over a period of 3 years, and all 36 states have ex-ante allocation of $20 million. It is run along 3 result areas. Number 1 is social transfer and livelihood, support to farmers, to security, and then small and medium enterprises support. The program has engaged independent verification agents because it's a P4R for the state. 98% of the resources goes to the state under P4R arrangement. And as we speak, 2 rounds of ID assessment have been undertaken, and the drawdown is about $450 million. So we have about $300+ million that is still outstanding. The program has several layers of monitoring. Number 1, apart from the IVA, we have the third-party monitors who have also been engaged. They are basically civil society organization, and they have done the first round of monitoring. And the report so far has been very, very favorable, that shows strict adherence in most states to the provisions of the operations manual, and then and processes are being followed. One key element is also peer learning that is anchored by the Nigerian Governors Forum, Secretariat, and that is ongoing. The consultant has already been engaged. The program will come to a close by 2024. It started in September, became effective September 2021, but it will round up by 30th of June 2024. So, major of all the 36 states and FCT are participating in the program, and we have done restructuring by May 2023, and the detailed review has been done by November 2023. The Honourable Minister has also approved, because of paucity of funds in the state, the second advance for the state to the tune of $60 million. That is in the process of being released now. So what are those emerging issues as far as NGKS is concerned? Number 1 is that the program is closing by June 2024, and there are already strong indication of possibility for sustainability for this intervention using already established very, very strong structures at the state level. We have, as we speak, we have 158 delivery platforms recorded across all the 36 states and FCT, which are doing very, very spectacularly well in delivering service to poor and vulnerable in the country. However, a few states have difficulties in funding their delivery platform, and this has reflected in the result. In fact, there is a state in the country that has not received reimbursement even after 2 rounds of IVA, but this situation has already been repressed as the state has spoken up and is doing very, very well now. The NGKS was invited in June 2023 to address the National Economic Council on how the NGKS structures in the state can be used in the distribution of palliative. I want to say that the Honourable Minister is very much in support of this initiative because of the structure that we have built in all the states and FCT. So it is an ongoing discussion, and progress, I'm sure a lot of progress is being made. Honourable Minister, let me go now to the next step. One critical issue that came out from the MTR, Your Excellency, is the fact that the COVID is no longer relevant, and there is a strong case being made for the COVID-19 to be changed to community, to now become Nigerian Community Action for Recovery and Economic Stimulus. This came from the MTR, but the federal government is also requested through the Federal Case Steering Committee to approve this change of name so that it can become effective. There is need to reactivate the FCSC, that's the Federal Case Steering Committee, which responsibility is to provide policy guidance to implementation at the federal and at the state level on all issues, including how funds are utilized by the state and states that are not doing well to be prepared up to do even better. There is a need to do strong advocacy by members of the Federal Case Steering Committee to some states that are lagging behind, even though the program has a very short lifespan. We have need for rapid impact assessment, confirm the result that we are getting from the field, especially using a consultant, and of course the steering committee and the technical committee too, because that I have mentioned, they need to activate peer learning and galvanizing support of foreign government to release funds to their delivery platform so that they can continue to implement. So far, about 210 billion. Somebody has been remarked that this is like a mini FAC has been disbursed to state. As we speak, the third IV assessments are already on the field, and before the end of February, we are expecting another round of disbursement to the state. Sir, Your Excellency, sir, this is a brief update.
The primary objective of this meeting is to inaugurate the Federal Cares Steering Committee meeting under the NG Cares program. And it is therefore my pleasure and honor to humbly, on behalf of the federal government, inaugurate the Federal Cares Steering Committee of the NG Cares program to the glory of God and advancement of the cause of poor and vulnerable Nigerians. And on behalf of all of us here, my colleagues that are here, to thank all of you for waiting so patiently, and that make do with the fact that we have to leave literally abruptly. But quickly to say that one of the major sources of cheap funding for our 2024 budget is the undisbursed loans from the World Bank, because of the about $14 billion portfolio, about $8 billion is undisbursed. So if we can accelerate, that is one source of funding for the federal and states. And the remarkable feature of the NG Cares program, states can decide to spend it in agriculture, in women affairs, in water resources, in environment, in training, NDE, and whatever. So, and as well as, okay, even though it's tangential to this issue, I'll make photocopies of the World Bank portfolio and share to all my colleagues, maybe tomorrow at the cabinet, so that everyone can put pressure. Secondly, and equally important, is the fact that most of these loans that are undisbursed come from the IDA. The World Bank give both international development, what is known as International Development Association loan, which is interest rate is about very low. Sorry, am I correct? Yeah, about 1%. So we have reached the limit of what we can borrow under this cheap sourcing. So if we disburse quickly, we can pre off the envelope, so that where we need to borrow and we go to the World Bank, we'll be borrowing cheaper money, rather than now where we have exhausted the cheap source, only the relatively more expensive. So, honorable ministers, my sisters and my brothers, I know that we have been rushed, but that is the reason why we are here. But I'm sure we can meet at an early time to review the performance of the NG Cares program, to advise and to put pressure on states. The last disbursement exercise, Nasarawa got $16 million, but there are states that got less than $1 million. So maybe we can, particularly I know Minister of Agriculture want everyone to mobilize for the dry season. So maybe it's one thing to encourage, as well as my sister, the Minister of Women Affairs. Thank you. Thanks.